Hey, this is Patrick Carman, and this is my authorized, official, whatever you want to call it, response to SkeletonCreekIsReal.com. I've held out for a long time. The thing's been going for, I think, about 6 months, and I haven't really given an official response to it, but I think the time has come to do that and to put it in my own words and to put it in my own site in a place where you can comment on it and sort of make your own determination based on this information and on your own experience with the site itself. Everything I'm about to tell you is the truth. So that's the first thing you need to know. Number one, a lot of what happened during the development of Skeleton Creek it's sort of like, it's very private information for amongst a small group of people. There were a lot of people that worked on the project, but there was a smaller group where things happened on that project that none of us really want to talk about, or we sort of made a vow not to talk about. So I'm not going to be able to tell you answer every single question, but I'm going to answer as many as I can and be as forthcoming as I can. Number one, okay, we're going to just start with the basics. And the first thing is that the ghost, the Joe Bush ghost sort of character in the story, that is based on an existing urban legend. That is true. Whether or not it's a real ghost or not, my experience at 3 o'clock in the morning at the dredge in the middle of the night with bats flying everywhere and all kinds of weird sounds and strange stuff going on would have to be that I am withholding judgment. I don't know. But the thing you need to know is that the sort of urban legend that's been floating around for a long, long time is based on someone who did actually get killed on. It's a little shadowy, that part of it. I think it was actually a different dredge, within about 50 miles of the dredge that we shot on, but that someone got killed by getting, and again, I think his shirt sleeve got pulled into the gears, and he was drowned in the water underneath, got pulled in and got thrown underneath, and so that's why you hear a lot of the tales, the urban legend tales, are about someone coming with their wet boots, and sort of grabbing stuff and whatever. So it either is the dredge that we worked on, or it's one where they actually pulled parts and pieces, which is actually a little creepier, I think, where, to finish restoring the dredge we worked on, they took parts and pieces from a different dredge that was all abandoned out in the woods and kind of parted it out and cobbled those parts onto the dredge that we shot on, so that this ghostly apparition sort of came along with that stuff to the new dredge. In any case, the urban legend has been around for a while. You can find out information about it online. That's pretty much public knowledge. As far as, is the dredge itself haunted? It may or may not be. I mean, I'm no expert in that kind of stuff. I generally don't believe in ghosts and that. I mean, there are certain sort of spiritual realm things like that are very intriguing to me and that I do believe in. But the whole idea of a ghost is a little tough for me to swallow. But I can tell you this. That dredge felt haunted. Whatever you want to call it, haunted. What does it even mean? But no one would go into that dredge at night. We worked only at night from dusk until dawn, because most of what we shot was at night, and no one would go inside that dredge from our crew by themselves. We always traveled in pairs or groups of 3 or 4 because it just felt very, very scary inside there. And there were just times with, strange things happen, pieces of equipment did go missing, a lot of strange sounds, and a lot of that, it's an old structure. There are people around, some of it's, joking each other, trying to scare each other, but it all got mixed together in a way that we felt that if there ever were a place that was haunted, this place definitely kind of would be categorized as possible. So that's the best I can say there. I've never worked on a project before that felt like that, like this one did. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I've got a little list here I'm actually looking at to make sure I don't miss anything, because I really thought this through and I'm only going to do it once. The dredge itself, okay, there have been some, I've obviously gone through and I've looked at a lot of the comments on that site, looked at the videos and everything else. The dredge itself is a real place. Okay, we shot in an actual dredge. There's some stuff on there, I think, about Oklahoma or different places where you might find this place called Skeleton Creek. Look, the place is called Sumter, Oregon. All right, it's actually a real place in Oregon. You can go up there. The dredge is sitting right there. They actually even give tours. You can actually go inside this old dredge yourself and look around. I'm told they're actually maybe thinking about doing like night tours, so that would be pretty creepy and fun. But this is like a real place. You can go there. And I changed the name of it to Skeleton Creek because I just kind of loved the name Skeleton Creek and didn't think Sumter was a very good name for a book. Okay, so So the place is real. You can go to it. You can look it up online. All that stuff's true. And that is the one we worked on, and the one that, all this kind of crazy stuff points to with the GPS and all that. That is the actual place where we shot. Okay, so there's that. Look here. Okay, getting into more of the nitty gritty now, I guess. There were probably 20 different people that worked on Skeleton Creek at one time or another. That's not even including all the editorial and marketing staff and whatever over at Scholastic, but just here in our group, between directors, filmmakers, interns, actors, all kinds of, there's about 20 different people. And we did have, a few young, what I would call like intern / young up-and-coming filmmaker type people who were around the project. And they had access to footage, they had access to pictures, the crew, they had basically access to everything we were doing. And frankly, we weren't paying that close, super close attention all the time because we were really, really busy. So some people were just there hanging around, watching what we were doing and, running and grabbing a, roll of duct tape if we needed and just being there to be part of this thing. And one of those people, this is probably the biggest piece of information I'm going to give you. One of the people that worked on the project and essentially used to work for me as part of the project is the person that made Skeleton Creek is Real. I cannot tell you anything more than the fact that I know who it is. I know because, just to be fair to his family and everything else, I can't reveal who it is, but I can tell you that it is somebody who was part of the project and who had access to a lot of these parts and pieces that have now appeared in various forms and things on the Skeleton Creek is Real site. The other thing I can tell you about this person, because I can't tell you how many emails, I bet you I've gotten over 100 emails from different people, and this is part of why we're doing this, that they're concerned for this person. And I can tell you that he's not dead. Okay, he's very much alive. That I can verify as a fact. Okay, I watched the last video and I watched all that stuff too, and it just, it's very unclear what happens there. I mean, it's kind of cool. And this is the thing. This is part of why we haven't gotten in there and done anything major about trying to shut it down or be very upfront about what's really happening or poke our nose into this too much, because I really feel like it's now part of the whole story. Skeleton Creek is Real is part of the Skeleton Creek story. It's like the story has taken on a life of its own, and really that's and what has been done there is pretty darn creative and pretty cool. So that's part of what's going on. So I'll leave that with that. Those things about the person that made it. That's as much as I can go into.